Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name's GBay99, and today we're going to talk about Riven. Now, assuming you're a subscriber or someone who's watched my videos recently, I'm sure you guys know I haven't made a video like this in quite a while using this mic with this setup of just gameplay. The reason for that actually feeds into today's topic. I tried making this video like the dailies I've been doing for the past month, but I was determined to use Riven for the gameplay, since that's who this video is about. For some reason, though, I just couldn't play and talk at the same time the way I normally do. I mean, I'm a pretty terrible Riven player, as you're about to see, but even just trying to make the mediocre plays I was making in the normal games I tried recording in, it was too difficult and took all of my concentration. Over the past few days, it's really dawned on me that Riven is a very, very cool champion. I used to think that Riven was played by just two groups of people, challenger players and jerks, to put it bluntly. Those two groups exclusively, the boxes, best Riven NAs, all the challenger tier players of the world who main her and pull off all sorts of crazy plays, and then the jerks in solo queue who wish they were one of those challenger players. Those idiots who get into a solo queue game, they just lock in Riven regardless of what pick they are or whether they got top or not in champion select. They get a kill early and think that that gives them the right to flame the rest of their team for the rest of the game, however well or poorly they play from then onwards. Riven to me has just been a champion that seems very selfish overall. Top lane has always been a very flexible role where you can really round out a team composition nicely. If your team needs an AP carry, you can go Vlad or Rumble. If you need a tank, you can go Shyvana or Maokai. If you need a hybrid or assassin, there's people like Aurelia. If you need a split pusher, there's Jax. Whatever your team needs, you can typically finish off your composition very, very nicely by picking one of the many viable characters there are top lane. But you don't pick Riven because you want to be a good teammate. You rarely need another damage source or carry to go top lane the way you might need a tank, bruiser, or mage. You don't pick Riven because your team needs a Riven. You pick her because you want to. You want to have fun yourself. Go get a bunch of kills, 1v1 opponents, and have fun top regardless of whatever the hell happens to the rest of your team. That's always bothered me about the champion, and all the frustrating players who get on your team, Riven mains who steal top lane or mid lane as a last pick, thinking that they're box or faker. They've only reinforced this idea that I've developed over the years. It's left me with a very negative outlook on the champion. At least that is until about 2 days ago when I decided, you know what, I want to learn how to animation cancel with Riven. I don't know quite what it was that put the idea in my head, but one day I just ended up thinking, you know, Riven should be the kind of champion that I like. A high damage dealer, like maybe someone that can kind of function as a bruiser. Let's go ahead and learn how to play her, just for the sake of enjoyment at the very least. Learn the basic mechanics that I could probably have some fun with in normal games, right? That was a lot easier said than done. To actually pull off all of your animation cancels perfectly is very difficult. Knowing which ones are best for each situation in-game is one thing, something I haven't even begun to think about, but to actually just pull off 100% of the animation cancels on every auto attack possible, every Q possible, E, W, ulti, it's seriously hard work. If you were to look at my match history, you would see plenty of bad games of Riven where I was just feeding or something, but I only spent around 5 or 6 games, normal games, playing her these past few days. It's not that much time, not that much dedication, not that many games. I haven't devoted so much effort into like trying to learn her so I can take her into ranked and then try and carry games or anything like that. But I have spent hours in custom games, just going into custom games, getting Q at level 1, practice animation canceling on red buff over and over and over until I eventually die. It's something that's really, really impressed me, the kind of constitution you have to have and determination to actually turn this somewhat mechanically intensive technique into muscle memory and then apply it in-game. I mean, I have a newfound respect for all the Riven players that I've played against who could pull it off in laning phase against me over the years. Funny enough, it actually reminds me of Super Smash Bros. Melee. We've talked about Melee before on this channel. We've mentioned how Riven's champion design was actually based off of the design of Marth in Super Smash Bros. Melee, but the thing that really reminds me of that game when I look at Riven as a champion and the people who choose to main her is nobody is really doing this for the selfishness, at least not in the way that I previously thought. It's not because people don't want to pick tanks top lane or whatever it is that their team needs. It's because they want to play Riven and see how far they can really push her as a champion. Riven is like Melee. Melee is a game where you have all these little techniques that you have: wave dashing, L canceling, DI, crouch canceling, shield dropping, and a billion others. Stuff that anyone can honestly learn if you just go into a game with a level 1 CPU and take 30 minutes of practicing it or something. But actually mastering it, being able to pull it off on command 100% of the time, and take all those little tiny techniques, the little things, and put them all together into an actual set, is where a player can really make the game look beautiful. Riven is like Melee in that way, an entity with all these little techniques that don't necessarily look that cool on their own, and hey, when you first learn one, it's going to be hard to even apply it in an actual match in any sort of useful way. But when you do start learning how to put it all together, seeing how fast you can go, it looks amazing. It works out in-game amazingly. It's something that's practical, impressive, and leaves you wanting more, and it's something that's really worth devoting time to. Riven players want to push themselves and that champion to the furthest possible limit, and when you see one do that, the game is played beautifully. This is something that I'm sure a lot of you guys already know. All you Riven players probably sneered at me every time I mentioned on stream that I didn't like the champion that much in the past, but I have a newfound respect for you guys, and I apologize for my ignorance before. I was like a racist old man, just too ignorant to even begin to accept something new that I didn't like. That's a pretty weird simile or metaphor or whatever, but anyway, thank you all very much for watching today's video. Before you all go, I'd appreciate it if you left a like or a comment. If you enjoyed this style of video, just give me some sort of feedback. I haven't made these videos, as I mentioned before, in a very long time. I initially planned on doing these high quality videos much more often with my daily videos, and I really do like making them. I'm actually working on a few now, but if you did enjoy this, please give me a little bit of feedback and let me know so I can be sure to know to make more videos like this in the future. But anyway, I will of course see you all in tomorrow's daily video, but until then, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.